Let's get it. Ooh, my mic's turned up a little bit. Yeah. I could do this on my back like I'm painting the Sistine. Needs to see rappers wet for acting so pristine. I spit it so clean when I kick these 16s. The size of my feet when I put my foot down. I remember getting bullied for being the class clown, wondering what they thinking knowing that I rap now. I'm just trying to get some cream, you know, milk the cash cow. I'm just trying to run up in the label playing C4, let it blow so they put me on the map now. Timothy McVeigh looking ass, blow up so fast. I've been grinding hard, I'm like fuck that. You couldn't even write your own bars, so fuck your entourage and what you been placed on. Acting Hollywood, you barely have a catalog, you don't know shit. You never heard of analog, you grew up on what? This is not a sing-along, I'm overwhelmingly underrated. I get it, unabated, exaggerated. My struggle may be exacerbated, I'm fabricated or exonerated from my duty as an MC. These rappers wish to stay petty, I don't give another thought. Just cooking like I'm Betty, I stay dishing out the rock. They wanna work with the team, no one wants to cop up dough. How you think you gonna blow without a budget? This ain't a joke, a lot of famous rappers are actually broke, y'all. Factually know it's tactfully told, but fuck Fox News for their views. They sound out of touch, embarrassingly old. Most outlets aren't that different. Different to propaganda, but similar mission. Divide and conquer within the human condition. I sound preachy, so I try to listen. I'm just a sponge with a voice, stay poised for the international noise. That's the first song ever on Prolific Profiles. Shout out Will Bolanos, head of Ever Evolve. A second to just, you know, hell yeah.
Shout out
Let's
Be
get
Water.
this next track.
Shout out Be Water. Yo.
Check. Yo. Rappers today, if we can call them that. Disrespect the old heads, so I call them whack. If you're not a student, you get schooled. I'm not talking smack. No smoking rock, we not talking crack. No public housing either. They tore down the project, so there's disappear in the ether. I hear a diss track, I want to write some disses, but I'm knowing, so I sit back. Relishing my come up when I'm on the map. Relishing my euros, you know I need all of that. Chicago street food, gonna get you through. With the city on your back, cause it's not as tough as you. We're on the mission, independent entertainment division. Beat out water on the instrumental, pissing on the competition. Religion, built on superstition. I was running from the mania when God is within you, do not fear him. Fear him, her, they, all of the above. Enlightened individual, no boundaries to the love. No smite from the residuals if all you do is plug. Bruce Willis in the city, but he really needs a hug. Bruce, racism is rampant, once again I am not dumb. Daryl Davis with the penmanship. Convert your ignorance to student liquor, gonna make us impotent. It's imperative, we fix the diet, switch the narrative. This is the culture of death. Poison the water, drug the food. No, I'm not a fool, I don't say this in jest. This is by design, you can tell by the lights. This is by design, you can tell by the lines. This is by design, you can tell by the lies. This is the culture of death. Poison the water, drug the food. No, I'm not a fool, I don't say this in jest. This is by design, you can tell by the lights. This is by design, you can tell by the lines. This is by design, you can tell by the lies. Yeah, you can tell. That was by design. Again, shout out to Will Bolanos, head of Ever Evolved. This is the platform Prolific Profiles. I am Wilhelm Duke. This is episode 1. This is going to be a lovely platform, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit, man. That was really badass, man. Why don't we just jump into it right here? I think I'm already recording and whatnot.
Let's rock,
You know what I mean? I already have this on, silence for the music and everything, so we can hear your beautiful voice. How is it going, Mr. Wilhelm Duke?
Other than the State of the Union, I'm fantastic.
Yeah, this is the first episode after the presidential debates.
This
the
is
day
true.
after the presidential debate. So we are feeling very unionized right now. Feeling very, very American. Man, how did you think about that whole thing?
Well, I find it so interesting because obviously I'm pretty liberalized overall. So whenever these things pop up, it's interesting to see like 75% of my Facebook just completely leftist, and they're like bagging on Donald Trump, and which is fine. Like I'll bag on Donald Trump too, but don't get me wrong, I have a lot of things to say about the Democrats and Joe Biden. So, to me it's just like whatever. They both I think don't carry themselves well when they speak, and I think people like you and me and the majority of a lot of Americans could probably hold themselves better up on those podiums.
Definitely that. A lot of it, I can definitely talk better than most of those guys on the podiums over there. These guys seem like they're babbling, they're rambling, they're freaking reacting, they're going crazy on stage. It's really funny, man. You hear Joe Biden go crazy, like, come on, man. Come on, shut up, bro. That was pretty funny.
Joe is too old, and well, so is Donald. They're both too old to be.
Yeah, that's a fact too. I feel like that's like a main problem in most of whatever is in the White House is that everybody is too old. They're like out of touch. Imagine the people that are trying to get into the line for the next like entrepreneurship. That's us. That's where our age is at right now. We're not being represented by these people. They're old as shit.
Right. It's like everybody who's in their 70s was in their 20s and 30s or so in the 1970s, right? And they, if you were in your mid 30s, mid 20s, in the 70s, you could make a lot of money working a normal job, working a normal salary job. So it's different for us where like we have to like hustle and juggle all of these different revenue streams just to stay afloat.
That's facts. But that is also a smart thing to do as well.
It is.
To have multiple streams of income. I don't know if you read books. Do you read books?
You know me, brother.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, of course I know you, but I'm just gonna be letting the audience know a little about yourself. Humanize the artist a bit, right? You read books. What kind of books you read, man?
Well, when it comes to money philosophy, a few authors that I read last year, Robert Kiyosaki. He's got the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And
I heard that. That's a really good book.
And basically, it's like this philosophy of how you view entrepreneurship and capital. It is good to have multiple income streams, but sorry, what's up, real quick?
I want you guys to move in front because the lighting's so bad.
Okay, all right, yeah, let's
Sure, no problem.
let's
Let me move over here.
let us take a little detour. No, we can cut off this.
It's all good. We don't even have to cut this off. This is episode number 1 of Prolific Profile, so you guys should see our trial and errors right now. But anyways, you were reading about Rich Dad Poor Dad. You said, right?
Yeah, and basically we grew up our whole lives. You should do good in school to get a job, right, or a career job.
Should definitely try to do good.
And and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when you read his Robert Kiyosaki's theory, being an employee is the lowest and most basic form of wealth generation. So you're an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. I definitely don't want to call myself an employee. That's embarrassing.
Right. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an employee at times for a lot of my adult life.
For investing, maybe.
But yeah, so it's just, we live in a different world where people in their late 20s, like, we have to do multiple things just to stay afloat. Back then, someone could work a summer job and pay for their entire college education.
That's facts. That's just, I feel like that's because over time, that's the problem of this whole two-party system, this whole partisanship of, like, let's regulate the shit out of the free market. Let's regulate the shit out of privatization, ownership, and everything. And now we have a bunch of, like, lower-income individuals, like I would say you and myself, if anything. I know I don't have all the money in the world, but how do I get a permit for if I want to get a bar and get, a liquor license? It costs $20,000, How does a low-income individual like myself try to get an entrepreneur ownership like that? It's kind of hard.
No, that's a good point. There's a lot of bureaucratic systems in place that keep people like people like myself from being able to jump into the game of making money as an entrepreneur because, like, if I want to sell weed right now at a legal scale in Chicago, Illinois, I have to have...
He wants to. He doesn't right now.
But I have to have, what is it, anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000, I think, just for the application process.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Not to mention the licensing is super expensive, so...
Yeah, entrepreneurship sounds fun until you get in the game. And then you feel like you realize what actually is going on behind the scenes. It's pretty wild. I mean, this is what I'm resorting to right now. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm doing all this without all the permits and everything in my own room. I'm literally in my flip-flops. This is my house.
Right, so no one give us a noise complaint because we don't need that right now.
It's only for an hour a day. Fuck. They can't be too busy. I would hope they're at their 9 to 5s.
Yeah,
real shit. Get that entrepreneurship going.
They're probably employees. Maybe some of them are business owners, but who knows?
Definitely families. Loud ass kids.
Oh yeah, we heard them earlier.
Very, very respectful to their parents. Regardless, anyways, how was your day? I appreciate you coming by here. My first episode of Prolific Profiles. If you guys don't realize, this is Wilhelm Duke. the man, the
In
one
the
and only.
flesh.
He is a rapper. He is a writer. What else are you, man? What else do you do?
So a rapper, writer, so I write for Ever Evolved, the blog, and I've done maybe about 80 or so articles. This guy, as the head of Ever Evolved, has done a lot more than that. But regardless,
Who's
yeah,
counting?
we're both writers. I'm also a rapper, and then lately I've been getting into photography, videography, and visual editing. Really, I love cutting footage and editing, and that's been like something I've been really passionate about lately. Is just learning how to cut visuals. So.
That's pretty fantastic. How was your day today, man? I want to see how I think the whole idea for my podcast is to like try to humanize the artist a little bit, because every time we see an artist on stage, we're always tweaking out like, man, we're idolizing, right? People are gonna. I mean, I look
There's
at
a
you
separation.
Like,
yeah. No, I feel that absolutely.
I look at you like a friend and stuff. We've been hanging out and everything, but people outside of this, they're looking at through this camera and everything, trying to become more a fan of you and your music. They'll be like, man, who is this guy? They're probably dreaming about you or something. How is your day, man? What's like a normal routine for Wilhelm Duke?
Well, I guess the normal routine is wake up, shower, brush the teeth, and then maybe hit a dab or get the coffee going. Because I need THC. I also need stimulants.
High functioning stoner right here.
Right.
He does all this work while super faded.
Also a caffeine addict. Right, absolutely. Yes, yeah, definitely need the caffeine. But no, I mean, today was good. I've been working on some projects on Premiere Pro. I got high, and we got breakfast earlier, and then we strategized how we were going to shoot this, and we came over here, and now here we are, and this is about to be one of the biggest platforms in Chicago for independent artists. Just so you know.
Just so you realize. So you said you got high in the day. What's your favorite strain?
That is always a good question, because I feel like every time I get asked that question, there's a new strain that is popular that I haven't tried yet. But I really want to try Burner's strain of cookies, his cookies brand of cannabis. But other than that, though, I guess my favorite, probably like an Orange Kush, because it's one of the first 10 strains I think I smoked back in the day. And an Orange Kush or like a Blueberry Kush, probably.
Yeah, my strains always changed throughout the times, but I remember always, I can't even find it anymore, but I always would love to smoke again some Jack Hare. If anybody has some Jack Hare, give me that strain, we'll smoke it on the show.
The frostiest little whitest THC crystals that look like, snow, baby powder coming off the can. It's insane.
So are you more of like a sativa dude or like an indica guy?
Great question. I would definitely say sativa. I hit the indica and then I pass out, man. I can't stay up. So I'm definitely a fan of the sativa, although I'll smoke any and everything. As long as it gets you high, I'm not really too picky, but I definitely prefer the headies.
I remember this one time I was smoking indica and I just passed out and I woke up with like half an eaten cookie and half an eaten Oreo, like, and half an orange, like right next to me, and I just started eating that right when I woke up too. I was like, man, my high self treats me well.
Right. See, I be blacking out on the indica strains too, and then I wake up just super faded, ate too much, stuffing myself all the time, munchies.
Oh man, let's see how let's get into more of a Wilhelm Duke's mind and stuff. Let's see if your routine was like this on a regular day, comparing to like what we were talking about earlier about like capitalism and making all this income work. If you were in like an ideal position in your life, like you had all the money, all the opportunities you don't even have to look for, how do you think your day would look differently?
Hopefully my day would begin and I have either a feature for a rap artist to complete that I've been paid for in full, or I have some event or show to perform one of my songs at, like whether it's a fundraiser, an actual show. I know it's COVID era, so there's not many of those, but something like that where I can perform in the flesh, and I'm also getting paid for that as well. So basically, it's like making a living off my craft is, in the ideal sense that I'm working towards.
Let's get a little specific. What kind of house would you be waking up in?
Ooh, well, the house has to have heated floors in the bathroom.
This is manifestation, by the way. Keep talking about this. Speak it into existence.
Heated floors in the bathroom, as well as heated towel racks. But I'm thinking something like a 2 or 3 story Tudor house, with maybe it's like an acreage, or something very like beachy, like West Coast Malibu style, like glass or stucco, something just very like, I don't know, new age, but also kind of retro in the sense that it's like 70s or 80s LA. We're all getting high.
Would you be in Chicago or would you be? What was the ideal place you would live in if you had all the money?
That's a great question. I haven't so much thought about the location, but I guess Chicago or Los Angeles. I live in Chicago now, so in Chicago is probably where I want to stay. But I always like toy with the idea of like how cool it would be to like be on the West Coast.
So you're driving to work. You're driving to the studio. What kind of whip are you got?
Ooh, shit. Probably. Lately, I've been into the Dodge Challengers just because they come in a lot of different colors, and they're not like the most expensive car. Don't get me wrong. If you're trying to like get a cool car, but I just think it looks sleek and it's pretty fast, and yeah, they come in like all the tropical shades. So
That's all you need. All you yellow colors and everything. All right. So aside from the car, you probably got your own studio and everything, right? What would your ideal studio look like? Would it be like a recording studio, be a visual studio, or a mix of both? What are you walking into when you go to work?
wow, that's a great question. Yeah, it's got to be a mixture of two. At first, I probably would have said just a recording studio, but now getting into like visuals and editing and stuff, a video production bay / recording studio. Yeah, that's the dream. That would be awesome. And if that was in my house as well, so I wake up and I go to the garage, and maybe open up the garage, and it's like, okay, here's a fourth of the garage is the recording studio, and the other 3/4 is we're shooting music videos.
That'd be a cool question actually. If you would have it separate from your house, or would you want it like the studio inside your house and stuff?
I go back and forth on that as well because I also like to have a separate place that I drive the Dodge Challenger that's yellow or orange too. But I don't know. I would also like it in the home as well to just like wake up in the backyard, or it's right in your downstairs.
I don't have an option right now, but let me tell you right now, it's actually not bad. So you could definitely rock with it. I'm working with my own setup with his beautiful backdrop.
As you can see.
Shout out to Marcin. I forget his actual name for the business, but he rocks with the good prices. Okay, so you're walking into the studio. What do you got on the speakers? Who are you jamming to?
Probably the latest top R&B. Whoever the latest top R&B singers are. I would have said Tory Lanez, but considering of recent events, I'm not going to say him anymore. But I don't know, just something that's not my usual go-to to just try to get me out of, like rapping too hard. Like I love Tech Nine, but I don't want to be bumping him all the time.
That's
so
interesting that you pick R&B since you're a hip-hop artist. Why do you choose R&B aside from hip-hop for like your go-to?
The melodies and the harmonies, and just getting me like, it's not something that I can like make or produce very well, right? R&B, but I love to listen to it because it helps me kind of get more creative when it comes to my own hip hop music.
But it sounds like you kind of want to try to make it, right? Am I?
Oh well,
am I
like
on that? Am I right?
Everybody's inspired by Drake, I think, to at least a certain degree. I mean,
I could bump his music every now and then for sure.
Right. But yeah, no, I definitely want. I want a good, 20 to 30% of my records having strong vocals, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, to say maybe some of my music is definitely R&B influenced is accurate. Yeah.
I remember one of your more recent tunes. You don't need a man or something.
Oh yeah.
One of your R&B songs, right? Do you have any more in mind? Are you making any more R&B tracks for the future? Are you trying to sing?
Yeah,
you be singing to us?
Well, I'm working on a project of 15 or so tracks that I've kind of been compiling for the last 2 years, and I have about 3 or 4 records on that project that are very singing heavy. You'll definitely feel the R&B, the rhythm and blues on those records.
That's badass. That's like what I've been listening to a lot recently as well, like blues and some. I've been listening to a lot of like blues and funk, old school, like from like 50s and 60s. I've been listening to a lot of like James Brown recently for some reason.
No, James Brown is actually what a lot of hip hop samples. A lot of famous James Brown rhythmic sections.
And I realize Marvin Gaye isn't just a seductive ass singer; he's a smooth fucking player too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He has a lot of badass tunes. I've been listening to a lot of the music like that. Do you have any influence, like super old school influences like that, or what made you like listen to and make music?
Super old school influences. Let me just ponder that for. I guess I would say I love anything. Well, I love anything rock and alternative going back. The Sparks in the '70s. I mean, some Beatles. When it comes to R&B, I mean Usher. Usher is definitely very influential. But originally, like one of my first introductions into the music industry and like pop culture music in general were like late '80s, early '90s industrial alternative rock, things like Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, Cranberries, Placebo, Pearl Jam.
You don't look like you listen to Nirvana at all.
Right, I don't. I don't listen. Kurt Cobain, rest in peace.
Right?
Right? No, that's hilarious. But yeah, no, I mean a mixture of a lot of music. But lately, I guess it'd be R&B for sure.
That's badass. That's one thing I noticed. Like you have a lot of like history in your head. Like for example, because people don't really realize when he writes for Ever Evolved on the blog, I would be like correcting what he's doing, and I take notice all the people he compares recent artists to old school artists. You seem to have a really good ear to like compare other artists to like old school artists. You have a really good library, it seems.
Thank you. I also so that's interesting that you bring that up because or that's interesting that that's your perspective because for like the reason that I do that I think is well, like nobody likes to be compared, right? Everybody likes to be.
I kind of was pondering that as well. Because,
right.
Like,
so
I know I've heard artists before like, don't compare me to this
right.
or that.
and I'll say that, right? I'll say that, and I hear that from artists, but at the same time, when it comes to writing Forever Evolved and comparing certain artists to artists of the past, and obviously the artists that I compare them to usually have fame. I do that as sort of like a validation type thing, like. Your music kind of reminds me of this, so keep going because I see good in that, basically. Because if you can kind of evoke the similar vibes to music that I remember, music that I love or like,
some good input.
I'll compare. But obviously, I do want to reiterate that every artist is unique, every artist is special, and that you should never try to be something else that you've heard. But to the music listener, if they feel like it kind of sounds like that, I mean. Let them know.
Like you said about Drake, everybody's at least a tad bit influenced, right? So everybody has a little bit of influence about some other artist and whatnot. What would you say who your biggest influences are?
Okay, so on the rapping side, Tech Nine for sure. Both from like a
I can
music.
see that. If you guys listen to this guy's lyrics, freaking unstoppable, bro.
Thank you.
Lightning fast.
Yeah. So Tech Nine, and then outside of hip hop, I guess. Smashing Pumpkins.
That's the only hip hop artist.
Oh well, no, I just. Oh well, let's bring it back in the pocket. So a Tech Nine, Lupe Fiasco, who's from Chicago. Lupe Fiasco is a huge influence. Nas, everybody loves Nas. Nas is on pretty much a lot of people's top fives, if not, definitely their top tens. Eminem, although I don't consider him like a direct influence, but obviously everybody listened to a lot of Eminem at one point in their life. And then Outkast, Andre 3000. I mean, his lyricism definitely influential on my music. And yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of the people that have passed away in the last few years have been influenced as well. I mean, Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, even Pop Smoke. I've been listening to Pop Smoke lately, and he's crazy. So
that is pretty crazy, man. Those stories are. The whole Mac Miller deal, the whole Nipsey Hussle deal, all those are super tragic. But I still bump them like every day.
Oh yeah,
like
very important.
Shit's crazy. But what would you say? It's kind of on the lines of the same lines. Would you judge artists by how do you judge? Like I should say, how do you judge artists to be your favorites? Do you like them as lyricists or artists in general? How would you say you would take the perspective of artists?
So yeah, I rank my artists by the lyrical message, what evokes the most thought or response from me as a listener based on what the artist is saying. So yeah, I mean the meaning and the moral and the message behind the tunes. A lot of music sounds amazing, but what are the lyrics behind that record, and what is it actually saying, and what is it actually promoting?
Top 5 favorite lyricists.
Top 5 favorite lyricists. So we'll have to put Lupe Fiasco, Tech Nine, Nas, T.I., Kendrick Lamar.
That's a good list right there. How about like top 5 favorite artists?
Top
Like,
5.
Is it a difference?
So top 5 favorite artists, as in like bands included.
I suppose we can do that. We didn't really
Okay.
touch upon the other genres.
I guess my all-time. Okay, so my all-time Tech Nine would still be in my top 5 artists. He'd probably be like number 4 or 5. The Cure, band from the '80s, pop band, probably my number 1. The Faint from Omaha, Nebraska, super popular but underground electronic band. And then Smashing Pumpkins. And
Chi-Town, Chicago represent.
maybe a Justin Timberlake. You could throw a Justin Timberlake in there. Why not? Throw him at number
man.
3 or 4.
Damn, okay. That's not like he's not even ashamed of that one right there.
Not
He's
at all.
like, "I'm
No
about
shame.
it."
No shame.
If there is one though, what is a guilty pleasure that for what you listen to? She probably knows this one. So what do you sing in the shower that you want nobody else to know that you listen to?
Okay, so not that I sing this in the shower, but I don't really want anybody else to know that I listen to it. But it is a guilty pleasure, and that is a Blueface.
Who's this?
Blueface, the Crip rapper with tattoos on his face who purposely raps off beat on purpose to make just different music, and
so
he's
you just like listen to him on a regular.
not on a regular, but if that's the guilty pleasure, yeah, I'll turn on some Blueface just because I do think it's hilarious.
What are some of the criticisms you could hear from him? I've never heard of this guy. That's kind of I need to check him out.
If you can imagine a rapper that's so offbeat, it's comical when you hear it. It doesn't sound like it would actually
Is
be
he
real.
like serious or is he trying to be comical?
He's trying to be comical, but he's serious in the sense that he knows what he's doing. Like, it's very calculated, but it is very goofy and it is very stupid. And he doesn't represent really anything positive for the culture of hip hop at large, in my opinion. But he is entertaining.
All right, for sure. I guess let's humanize you a little bit more. You're aside from being an artist. By the way, you're pretty much safe on the Blueface. If nobody really knows
Well,
what
if you-
Blueface is, nobody really gonna give a fuck. All right, you're
If
safe.
you know,
on
you
that. So I guess aside from artistry, you do something on the side, right? Aside from the videography and artistry, I heard you like do security, or what else do you do?
Oh
on the
yeah,
side?
so to pay some bills, I've been a security guard. I've been a door-to-door salesman. I've been a lot of things, but probably the thing that I've been the most is I've been a security guard, a doorman at bars and restaurants for like almost 6 years. I haven't been doing it like the last year or so. Obviously, COVID, things got shut down, but yeah, keeping drunk people safe.
Keeping drunk people safe from other drunk people. Exactly. That's interesting. I didn't know you had a door-to-door sales. What were you like selling on that part? What's your pitch out here?
So this is a funny story. When I first got to Chicago in 2012 as a 19-year-old, one of my first jobs, I was selling energy supply packages to just Chicago residents. And but the reason why I quit after 3 months, it was a summer job. So I worked like June, July, August, and I ended up quitting because I realized I was screwing people over on their ComEd bills. And so I would, knock on the door.
Are you one of those guys that go into my Walmarts and ask me for ComEd bills?
I was one of those guys.
What do you pay for your bill today?
Hello, ma'am.
You can reduce it.
ComEd sent you some information you failed to respond to, and I'm here to make sure you just follow up on that. And then I'd take your bill, and then I would like screw you over by giving you like a higher bill, but you didn't know it, and I didn't know it either because I was just, I was an employee, and that's why it's bad to be an employee because you don't know how you're being manipulated. Thank you.
But you still get that moolah.
You will get paid. Yes, you will get paid to be
You get paid to be morally fucking corrupt, basically.
Yes.
So you're like one of those lawyers that pretty much try to slap somebody with a subpoena or whatever. Like, hey, I got a witness.
Right.
Try to run away.
I would show up and I would ruin your day, but you wouldn't realize your day was ruined until later.
You should have just come up to people like, hey, you've been served. Run.
You've been served a new energy bill. ComEd says, F you.
No, man. How about with your security? Do you have any funny stories for that?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so a lot, but the first one that comes to mind
I'll share
is...
one, actually.
Yeah.
I'll share one with you if you share one.
Okay, all right. So being thrown into the glass door at work by a drunk guy my height, I didn't let him back in the bar. He was too drunk. He started, mouthing off at me, and then when his girl came out, He's like, this mother effer won't let me in the bar, yada, yada. And I said to him, and this is why I'm not letting you in the bar, sir, with a huge grin on my face. And then he's just like, are you fucking stupid? And I looked at him and I said, I don't know, man, are you? And then within a second, I'm going through the glass door and shattering it because he like sucker checked me into it. And I guess I shouldn't have been mouthing off to him, but I was, I thought I had the power.
That's why security are there to take the punches.
Oh yeah. And I had to roll with them. That night, so.
That's funny. The way they were your friends. Your friend knocked you into a door?
The punches were my friends. We went out later for drinks.
Oh, wow. Okay. I think I'm actually remembering what this was. But here, I got you. I was security as well. I was security for a little while, so I guess I can give you a similar story to, match it a bit. I was security in Wrigleyville. For those of you who don't know Wrigleyville,
sports area.
Good luck, I guess, if you want to try it out. Freaking belligerent ass sports people. Funny though, it's really good entertainment aside from like the baseball. But I was bartending, and I got removed from bartending. I found a job as a security at Merkel's, and then this place was funny. I got in contact with a lot of belligerent people and a lot of horny women. There's a lot of like belligerent women and horny women, or belligerent men and horny women in Wrigleyville. That's the funny thing about it. Like for the women, it's funny. Like one time, I was just standing at the door, and a line of women are just walking out, and one by one, they're just boom smacking my ass. Bah, bah.
Sexual harassment. You got to watch out. Northside Chicago white women, ladies and gentlemen.
Like one after another, pop, pop, pat, pat, right there. And the last one, it seemed like the leader of the girls over there. I think it was a mother because she was a little older, like had a little wrinkles on her, had some, power to her voice. She came up to my ear after she smacked she didn't even smack my ass. She like grabbed that thing, like smack and grab. So she came up to me, to my ear, and she's like, yeah, it's part of the job, buddy, and just walked out. I'm like, oh, word, say less.
Now I know what it's like to work at a prison or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, man, to be working at prison, that'd be interesting. A lot more drunker people there.
Definitely.
That's pretty funny. Oh, man, I guess that's the kind of jobs we have to deal with to be investing as an artist, right? That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. All comes in line, all full circle. We have to work to be able to support ourselves and whatever we want.
Absolutely.
Multiple income streams to invest in this. Like, that's why I bartend, for example, just so I can invest in this kind of thing. And you're doing whatever else on the side. I forget if you're doing anything right now or you're just completely on artistry right now.
Well, freelancing just some photos and videos, and then I'll be managing a buddy of mine his web development company. So hopefully that will pan out and pay some bills, and then I can move more freer.
Let's move. You're building quite a resume for yourself, man. As just an artist, like freaking exhibit, and like you're getting pimped, son. Getting pimped out here.
Thank you.
The resume is getting super pimped.
The resume is definitely getting built.
Let's bring it back to before the resume though. Like how you got into music and stuff for some reason, right? Is there like a person that inspired you to get into music, or how'd you this all get into it? You just get into yourself?
Well, I was definitely inspired by rappers in high school to begin recording music. People like Wiz Khalifa definitely made me realize like how easy it was actually to do this, to be a recording artist, to be a rapper. But I would just say that when I'm a very social person, very extroverted. When I began to like hip hop in high school, like outwardly, and people knew that I listened to a lot of it, I like to freestyle, I like to rap a little bit, I got bullied a lot for it. So rapping, at least in the beginning.
Is it because you're listening to Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah, I was. Well, that's another thing too. I couldn't quite figure out if I was gangster or if I was like a hipster. So like that was definitely a problem, at least with the cliques in high school. But
the rock guys are like, yeah, you stupid little thug. And the rap dudes are like, yeah, you stupid little hippie.
No, exactly. Caught between two worlds. But yeah, no, I started rapping and because I wanted to prove everybody wrong and that I could be a good rapper and that I could be people that I looked up to who they thought that I couldn't be like those people. Hold up real quick.
Pause. Turn up. It's intermission. Check 1 2 1 2. Where's my drink? All right, let's get back into this.
Let's rock.
Are we recording? Is this live? Let's take a sip.
I already finished mine, or else I'd be partaking.
You are more alcoholic than me, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
All right, so I think what I remember my last question was to bring it a little bit step back with your music, see where it all came and started from, right? You were talking about, well, who your inspiration to, what made you want to do music and start music.
Right. So, well, in high school, Wiz Khalifa was very popular at the time, like coming up, and was releasing a lot of music, and he made me realize, like, wow, it's a lot easier than I think to become a rapper and start being a recording artist. So around the same time, I'm rapping, I'm freestyling. Everyone knows I love hip hop. I definitely act like I like it, and but I get bullied a lot too, right? So a lot of people told me that I couldn't. They said, "You suck, you can't rap," all this, that, and the third, and then yeah, I mean, I stuck with it because I wanted to prove people wrong and prove to myself that I could. So,
is there like a first song that you remember that you released like officially, or?
So bad, right? No, this is an important part of the hero's journey, right? The artist's journey. Yeah, no, I released like 40 songs from the years 2012 to 2014 that were absolute hot garbage, hot trash.
But you felt they were pretty confident at the time if you were releasing 40 of them.
Yeah. Well, within 40 tracks within 3 projects, I definitely was feeling myself. I was also very delusional because I didn't have anybody in my circle telling me, "Hey, Wilhelm, this is
you need to stop."
Yeah, this is a pretty shitty track. So, but yeah, no, I mean the first tape that I released was like 6 tracks long, and I was like really hyped about it, but then I had the whole school like making fun of me because it was just really that bad.
Do you remember any verses from it?
Not really, but I remember something like a line where I said pterodactyl fractal pattern, and like it's just like goofy shit like that. Like,
what does this guy thinking when he was a shorty? Pterodactyl fractals, what the hell? Some trippy dinosaur
nonsensical,
esoteric.
just yeah.
That's pretty wild. So I guess the next question would be, when is like your first official proud of yourself moment release, kind of?
Okay, so first official proud moment, I guess, was when I was in this duo called Bombay Boys for about 6 years, and in late 2014, December 7th to be exact, we dropped our first music video as a duo, and that was called A&R, and that like kind of blew up on a small scale, for the people that were paying attention to us. It didn't blow up by any means, but that was like the first like, oh, okay, I've made a decent product. Like, I've made a decent music video here. I feel good about myself. This is dope. I can rap.
And is this Chicago or?
Yeah, this was in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember you were from Omaha or something, right?
Yes. Omaha, born and raised from '93 to 2012.
And that's where you were releasing your garbage music.
I released some garbage music in Chicago as well. So the first tape was in Omaha. The second 2 tapes, or the second and third tapes, were my first year and a half in Chicago. So, yeah.
So you started your first proud moments in Chicago with your Bombay Boys release, and then now you're a solo artist, right?
Yeah. So I've been a solo artist since June 2019. Officially a solo artist since June 2019. I dropped a few things. Is there got lint or?
No, you're just pimping.
Oh, I'm. I was like, oh shit, we got something I need to like brush the shoulder off. But yeah, no. So I've been a solo artist for about a year and a half now, and it's definitely been empowering. It's been freeing. I don't have to wait on anybody. Now I'm more like you, like make moves on your own and do your own thing. So.
What's the major difference that you have when you're like recording or making songs between a solo artist and within a group?
So when you're making music within a group, you're like confined a lot of the times to what the group's sound or style or brand should be, or what it's supposed to be, and you're kind of boxed in. I would say that the biggest difference is that when you're making music as a solo artist or for yourself or by yourself, you have a lot more freedom. And when you're making music within a group setting, you really have to think a lot more about what your part is in that group. So, you got to be a lot more careful. Careful when you're songwriting, careful when you're coming up with the melodies and the flows to, record. So.
I was just thinking, like, is there, between like 2 people, is there some kind of a leader and like a sidekick in the group, or are you, within that? I mean, I guess in your aspect, where you guys both just kind of front runners.
So for the Bombay Boys, Harrison was definitely like the musical production leader, and I was definitely like the performance stage leader, and like I was the one making moves, networking in the business, and meeting people and whatnot.
Clearly.
But like
everywhere.
he like started a lot of the songs. Say what? Well, this is backstory. This is history, baby. We're talking. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah.
Last question about the past.
But right, so yeah, no, back in the time when I was in the duo, yeah, there's, split 50-50. But now that I'm a solo artist, yeah, I mean, I have to control a lot more, which is a lot more work to be done because you're doing it all for yourself, by yourself. But yeah,
What's the kind of difference from jumping to being in a group to a solo artist? I know. You as a group, you would probably have different ideas of how you promote each other and how you guys, work about making your music known and stuff. How do you make everything known as yourself? Like, I think we were talking about like marketing and promoting earlier and whatnot. What do you do as a solo artist to make yourself known?
That's a great question. I would say it was definitely because of what Bombay Boys was as a brand. Sometimes it was easier to promote and market yourself because like we were throwing a lot of parties and whatnot. But now as a solo artist,
Drinking Bombay,
and considering I've spent like a third of the time as a solo artist in this new COVID era,
that's why like Jen. Forget about that.
Yeah, Jen, exactly. I'm still figuring that out, actually, like ways to promote myself as a solo artist. I want to stay consistent with the content. I always want to be releasing things. I always want to be making music. But I guess I would say be yourself and carry yourself well, be confident, and just, don't be afraid to speak to other people that you will meet in your life about what you do and be proud of it. Be proud of yourself.
That's easier said than done, but like, what are the ways you can actually prepare yourself to be confident as a solo artist and prepare yourself to network to other people in your perspective?
That's a very good question.
Do you have, like, for example,
actual
a routine or something?
Actual preparation and routine. Sobriety is very effective. Sobriety is very effective when going into a situation. Sometimes being too stoned is not a good thing. If I'm going into a business meeting and I have to be prepared in terms of like P's and Q's and whatnot, sometimes I prefer just to be completely stone cold sober. And sometimes that's my mantra or meditation method before, I go out there to the world and present myself. Hello, I love to smoke weed, but I don't always want to be high in front of the public. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Wiz Khalifa, but I don't always want to be that high, right? Sometimes.
So don't feel pressure as an artist to feel like you're under the influence to make good content. You can make that shit within yourself on your own self.
Boom. No, that's yes. I absolutely agree with that point. Definitely, 100%.
I feel like a lot of people like look into artistry as well and think a lot of artists make good content because of like the drugs or paraphernalia they're involved in or their environment and whatnot, but majority of the time it's just already within themselves kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the environment was going to always be like that anyway. So, yeah, I would say the artist definitely has to dig deep and, work hard to create something special, for sure.
So you said you wanted to be consistent as an artist to promote yourself, but I already see that kind of consistency within your work already and stuff. As a solo artist, I think your first music video as a solo artist was Want Smoke or something. Was it not, or am I tweaking?
My first was Flute Song Remix, but my second was Want Smoke. So you're almost dead on. But yeah, no, I
was homework.
Well, and that was already a year ago. So
true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but on top of consistency, trying to be creative with finding new outlets and platforms. Obviously, this is a very brand new outlet and platform, and this is what recording artists like myself need to continue to express themselves and sharpen their skills and get better being in front of the camera, being in front of people, talking to individuals that, we want to dig deep into the music and figure out, like, what is this all about? So...
What other you have? What's your favorite music video that you had released so far as a solo artist?
I would say Gilded Hilt, because we shot that right before the lockdowns happened, like the night before Lori Lightfoot and Governor Pritzker announced that we were being like really hunkered down there for a few weeks back in March, April. We shot a music video. We just went all over Chicago, drove around. Candace and myself. Candace is the one filming right now. Art After Dark, shout out.
Shout
How you
out
doing?
Candace right here.
But yeah, it was just like, we had the Canon, and we're like, hey, why don't we shoot our own music video? Why don't we do it ourselves? Why don't we control the means of production, DIY, all that stuff? So we went out, we shot a music video. I didn't know how to edit at the time, so I sent it to an editor, and he did it. But now I know how to edit all my own videos, so yeah, and that's my favorite one.
You're making your own videos and you're editing your own videos all on your own.
Yes, sir.
That's actually freaking wild.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people can do that. Like that's like a lot of money saved in the pocket right there too.
Yes, it is. So hire me. Hit up Wilhelm Duke. Hit up Everevolve, please. Anybody who's watching this.
Oh man. So I know you have another music video project coming up too. I saw it, and it is so much different than what your first projects have been. Like compared to like with Gilded Hilt, I've seen that one. I've seen what's it called, Want Smoke video, and this new one that I see coming up with Rhymester. It's coming out soon, right?
Ooh, yeah. So I have an EP in the works with Rhymester.
Shout out Rhymester, Ever Evolved.
He's the co-founder, head of Ever Evolve Studios. He produced our EP. It's 3 songs, and the lead track from the record is Boss Shit. Boss shit. Like I'm on my boss shit, right? Very funny video. We're riffing off the Between Two Ferns, Zach Galifianakis type. We're paying homage to that, right? That's like our inspiration. But no, it's a very funny visual shot by Hayward of Beatbox Entertainment. And yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the best music videos I've been a part of that I've created. It's very funny. It's very different. It's not your stereotypical normal music video.
I saw that and I was like, bro, you guys look like legitimate Hollywood actors in that motherfucker. I swear to God.
You, right? Yeah.
Like, you guys.
That's what we're going for. Like, yeah.
I swear, aside from making music videos, you guys could grow into another what's it called, job series that you want to go into acting instead of go into Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do some acting. That's definitely, hopefully that's on the horizon. But until then, I mean, making music and rapping. So.
When do you expect you can see that release happening for the music video and the EP?
So Boss Shit by Rhymester and Wilhelm Duke of Ever Evolved is coming straight to y'all everywhere on October 7th. 10/7. The entire EP will be distributed late October. I think we have a release date right now for the 31st, if I'm not mistaken. So
Halloween.
The end of the month, full EP. But on October 7th, you'll see Boss Shit, the music video.
That's pretty badass. And the EP is gonna be with that release, or did I just miss that?
Oh no, sorry. The full EP, 3 tracks. It's called Resistance, by the way. I forgot to mention Resistance. That's late October. I think the 31st. Although I'll have to double check that with the crew. But I'm late October. Late October.
Decent. Is there any other what's it called? What was your last track that you released?
So I've been doing a weekly visual series called Smoke and Rap Sessions, where basically I just smoke weed and I perform to my tracks that are just, they might not have a music video, or I'm just like, I'm bored and I want to perform, right? Like there's no outlets really for artists to perform during COVID. So Pop Flow is a song that I dropped a few months back. You actually wrote a review on that. Thank you very much. That was super dope.
Bless.
And
Thank you for letting me hear it, man. That is a blessing to my ear.
So and I dropped that Sonic Blessing a visual to it like a few days ago. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to stay consistent and I'm trying to work really hard, and yeah,
definitely consistent. Because aside from what's it called, your smoke sessions, which is very recent, right, and then your music videos and your independent releases, you also had some cypher sessions as well, right?
Thank you for the reminder. Will Bolanos, Ever Evolved, Prolific Profiles. I have another platform called Cyphers After Dark. This is why Ever Evolved.
Cypher After Dark, people.
Cyphers After Dark. This is why
Town made.
This is why Ever Evolved is so dope. We all have platforms. Like, we're all artists and creatives, but we're all trying to create channels and ways for you, if you're an artist watching this, to express yourself. So,
and this is specifically for what kind of artists?
For MCs, rappers, lyricists.
That's a lot of MCs in Chicago, right? You guys got to get connected with Wilhelm Duke and Candace over here with Cyphers After Dark. What do you guys do on the episodes?
So basically, we feature anywhere from 5 to 8 MCs, all over the same beat, and we just want to cut a really high quality production visual for the MCs, and we want to basically be the Team Backpack, the Double XL, the BET Cypher platform of Chicago, of the Midwest.
Midwest, especially, right?
Oh yeah.
All about Chicago. What kind of artists that you had on their show recently? Can you name any?
So we've done. We just shot our 3rd episode. We've had artists like Rhymester of Ever Evolved. We've had Asthmatic. He's a jazz hip hop artist based in the city of Chicago. Very talented.
Shout out to their podcast, Ill Advised and Unprepared.
Woo! Very funny, very good time. Definitely recommend. If just listen to Ill Advised and Unprepared. Also, we've had Radcliffe Music of Ever Evolved. We've had the rapper D-Lo, very prolific Chicago rapper and producer, and we've had some amazing, talented women on the Cypher platform as well.
I remember seeing Rap Crush on there as one of them, right? She was one of the recent ones I remembered.
We've had Rap Crush, Asha the Omega, Lana Danielle, and a new Chicago artist who just moved here from Omaha, Nebraska, Potty Pocket. So,
Pocket.
No, I'm excited about all these rappers, man. There's so many rappers in Chicago, and I just want to be able to help y'all out and get reps and get rapping and get ciphering, freestyle.
A Renaissance mecca going on here. We have prolific profiles. We have Ciphers After Dark. We have the man individually making music, introducing you guys to other individual rappers making music. Like, what is going on? In this room, there's just so much talent already. And do you got any other projects that you have ready to go out and stuff? Or are you just like, this is all you is what you're ready to do and present to the world?
So besides Resistance with Rhymester, which is an EP coming out late October, I'm working on a solo album, and that will come early 2021. So hopefully by then, COVID restrictions are a little bit more lifted. Things are more lax, because I'm really excited to get out there and promote that album. But hopefully we don't have a bunch of, restrictions. So
that would definitely be dope. I would love to see you perform live and be on the host stage live, introducing you again, because that was definitely a deal.
We missed that, man.
Yeah.
We missed that.
If you guys remember Enjoy sessions, Monday night open mics and stuff, I was always hosting. These guys would always be in the audience, to be on the stage, would be introducing a bunch of Chicago artists onto the stage just to do their thing. That is definitely...
Shout out Mims over at Enjoy, Wicker
Enjoy
Park.
Mims. Shout out, buddies. You guys are always doing a thing for us. But, yeah, that sounds all good and everything, but, like, I'm sick of hearing you talk already, though. I mean, you have a lot of good insight and everything, but there's so much more to you, like your music, right? So
Absolutely.
I think we have a couple of songs that we want to end this show off with. So
Woo!
You ready to make some music happen or
I'm
what?
ready to make it happen, Will. Let's get it.
I'm ready to hear some motherfucking tunes.
Ooh. Check.
Robert Barron.
Featuring Rhymester. I'm just doing my verse. Yo. I got a whole league of rappers and we all spit them western straight out of the city where we only know depression. Trying to stretch a dollar out. Looking scoring ball pie. Motherfuckers know about struggle. We started in the business. I don't want to hear rebuttal. How you independent when your daddy in the Senate? How you step into a yuppie brain damage world's empty 75K. I remember calling taking on a Bombay. It's all good. Truck and dog, broad shoulders if you would. No more grudges. I'm misunderstood. In the reader peep game, I'ma replay these schemes for the seat stain. Hip hop head man, fuck a feed for these bird brain keepers. I'ma leave these motherfuckers leaking posted in my box, asking for a feature. I'm a teacher, unless your name is Tech. This skill ain't fucking with me. Had to do something major scale, make it 10 quarter pounds of these verses for a brick. Rip the beat up like I'm taking weed right off a bitch. You think I'm offensive? I'm just sick of waiting. This is me on the offensive, old school. Taking shots is how I get defensive, flow impressive. The biggest Midwest choppers should hit me with the message. How could I? Got his beats, routine so clean, pristine, and fiend. For banging instrumentals, let it spike like the blood sugar sex magic generation. Missing all the hype. Spitting truth we used to like. Now we like the lights, bright lights, exorbitant money, and it's coming from a woo. Dangling just like a kite. Hey. Sensei and all, I've been raising the bar. So shows get rappers paid, fucking pay to play, we getting paid to play. Platforms ignoring us, I'm feeling enormous to believe. Got the smoke, better pay us for a blog post. These other rappers joke, I'm at the throat. Promote blokes with no substance, straight fuck shit at the function. Waving glocks and whipping white, maybe that's the light, but there's more than that, so I should the light. Even if my mind is fried, I can say what's wrong and right. Grip a fifth, roll a blunt, sadness from the days gone by, anxious. Cause every motherfucker wants a piece of the pie. This is where Rhymester's coming in, you know what I'm saying? Rhymester, co-founder, head of Ever Evolved Studios. That was the lead from our first project, the Robert Barron. I'm Wilhelm Duke. Let's get this last track. Prolific profiles, that's a wrap.
Leave it all in between. Same paper chain.
Yo. Into the Spider-Verse, multidimensional with the flow. Put you in the hearse before you know stole the show. Black Cat, I'm bringing it back to battle. The Vegas Betty Bugle, Daily Bread. I need the photos in the newspaper to get the paper. I can't simulate this well enough to beat clout chasers. Eddie Brock snapshots, slingshot web sauce with the pen game. Strike slender like a Triple J boss. This is how we make rap hot. Coinciding culture with content about it, got little blunts when I rock good cadence. Fucking around a lot when I drop top rhythm. Midwest chopping on you hobgoblin bitches. Juggling knack the responsibilities I have, but I'm not Peter Parker, more like Travis Barker. Mixed with Tech 9 and Billy Corgan, sounding like I need a new. It's like that chopped and screwed Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Rhymester on the production. I don't know why this beat is slower, but I must have fucked up the bounce or something. No, that shit was dope. Hey, Prolific Profiles. Shout out Will Bolanos. Of Ever Evolve, the founder of Ever Evolve, the platform, the blog, the collective, the label, it's a lot of things. Shout out Rhymester, co-founder, head of Ever Evolve Studios. This is Ever Evolve, the movement. Check it out, everevolve.com. We're exposing the best underground independent recording artists and artists that the city of Chicago has to offer and more. I'm very proud of this. Very proud to be the first artist on this. This is dope.
And thank you very much, man. I want to fucking really be appreciated for you to help me out with everything on Ever Evolve, the writing side of everything, giving me good ass music, and being on this fucking studio, my home little production right here. First fucking episode is great. You guys get stay tuned for the next episode. We got more artists in Chicago coming up. That's all we need. Chicago style, baby.
Swinging like Spider-Man. Shorty just wanna have that photo like James. Swinging like Spider-Man. Trying to hit me with